Greetings, beloved friends. This is Timeless Reality, where we seek truth, wisdom, and higher values that uplift both individuals and nations. I am Amuche Okoro, and today we must confront a subject that is often misunderstood, yet urgently needed in our world: the role of spirituality in nation building. We live in a time when nations boast of their religious gatherings, their temples, their cathedrals, and their numbers. But the pressing question is, are these outward display of religiosity truly building nations? Or is something deeper missing? As I often do, for more clarity, I will split this discussion into different parts, and we go thus. Part 1, religion versus spirituality. We must first make a vital distinction. Being religious is not the same as being spiritual. Religion is often about outward form, rituals, traditions, buildings, and numbers. But spirituality is about inward reality, living by the conscience, guided by the eternal laws of God that govern creation. A nation cannot truly be built by religious display alone. We have seen countries filled with all forms of religions, with their places of worship, including the traditional shrines. Yet corruption thrives, injustice reigns, and wickedness multiplies. Why? Because the heart of people is not transformed. But when people are truly spiritual, they walk with their conscience intact. They live responsibly with honesty, compassion, and integrity. And when this becomes the collective attitude of both leaders and citizens, corruption reduces, wickedness declines, and the nation flourishes. Part 2. Spirituality and conscience. Spirituality restores the voice of conscience, and no society can thrive when the conscience of its people is dead. A leader whose conscience is alive cannot steal from public funds. A citizen whose conscience is active cannot cheat his neighbor or exploit the weak. An employer guided by conscience cannot oppress his workers. Likewise, an employee thinking of stealing from his employer. A youth, alive in spirit, cannot waste his destiny on vices. True nation building begins in the heart of each citizen. It is not the multitude of gatherings, the loudness and long hours of prayers, or the size of religious institutions that build nations. It is the quality of men and women who live by truth, guided by the divine order. Part 3. Living in alignment with God's will. Friends, let it be known that not living in accordance with the will of the Almighty God, the creator and ruler of all the worlds, is an act of ingratitude. And no individual, no family, no community, and no nation can stand or prosper in peace while ignoring the Almighty Creator's law. The downfall of any nation begins the moment it chooses to mock justice, suppress truth, and elevate wickedness. History is full of examples of once great nations that failed because they departed from the path of righteousness. But with spirituality in place, everything changes. The economy thrives because honesty drives transactions. Peace blossoms because justice is upheld. Citizens live in harmony because love and compassion guide them. Innovation grows because laziness is cast aside. Let us be clear. Spirituality does not mean idleness. It is not sitting back in passivity and calling it faith. It is not encouraging wickedness or laziness in the name of tolerance. Being spiritual means understanding the divine laws that govern life and living in active harmony with them. Part 4. Spirituality as the foundation of nation building. When a people embrace spirituality, nation building is assured. Why? Because corruption finds no soil to grow. Wickedness is shamed and cast aside. Leaders become true servants of the people. Citizens walk with integrity, knowing that every action reaps a consequence. Spirituality reminds us of the eternal laws of sowing and reaping. What a nation sows in its values, it will reap in its future. If we sow dishonesty, we will reap instability. But if we sow truth, justice, and gratitude to the Creator, we will reap peace, prosperity, and enduring progress. Beloved friends, let us not be deceived. A nation is not built by noise, by numbers, or by outward rituals. A nation is built by men and women whose souls are aligned with the will of God, who live in harmony with His laws, and who carry their responsibilities with awakened conscience. When spirituality becomes the heartbeat of leaders and citizens, when gratitude to the Creator guides our actions, when truth and justice becomes the pillars of governance, then and only then will our nation rise in true prosperity. Remember, religion may fill buildings, but spirituality builds nations. Religion may impress crowds, but spirituality prospers a nation. Religion may gather multitudes, but spirituality builds character. Until next time, align with natural laws, awaken your spirits, and let your life be a timeless message to the world.